Hello friends, welcome back or welcome in if you're new. Today I'm going to do a video on how I use soft pastels to make a bokeh background. I'm just going to show you a couple examples of what I've done and then we're going to go ahead and get right into the video. So the first video I ever had on my channel actually was me doing the bokeh background in this book because friends of mine asked me how I did it. And I did a video and it was just private. It was between the two people who asked to see it. And I've lost the page. I should have had these marked. Sorry about that. But it was just a video for me and two of my friends. And then I released it like publicly, and that's how my channel started. You can't see the video because I've since removed it because it was so poorly done. The camera wasn't set up on anything. It was kind of like leaning in a corner and I was taking the video. It was very dark. It worked for a tutorial for my friends, but once I released it publicly, it got a lot of interesting comments about my filming techniques. So I took it down. This is the page that started me doing this background over and over again, as you can see, especially in the Millie books, because I don't know what to do with all that space. And I'm not someone who's going to draw an entire forest or woodland behind it. So this works. I went on to do it in other books like Nice Little Dragons. And here's that one. And this one I did stenciling on top of it as well. So when my friend Jackie and I were doing Buddy Color in Callus this month, I sent her a video of how I did the background. I know like a lot of people do them. And this video is being made after the video of me doing the background. So I will say I just saw Bubble of Coloring released a video as well for the same thing, like as the time that I was filming all of this. So that was pretty fun. And you should go check out her video as well. She does it differently, but it's still stunning. I liked it a lot. But this is the page we were working on. So I did a quick video for Jackie, and it is suitable for showing to everybody. It's not poorly filmed now that I have a whole camera set up. So I'm going to go ahead and go into that video in a voiceover, and I'll see you on the other side. I created this page using the Mungyo Pastels 64 count, and I just use a craft knife and I shave down the pastels onto a palette so that I have enough. And I always shave off too much, but it's better to have too much than try to remember which pastels I used after the fact, because I have messed that up before. So learn from my mistakes. And here you see me just shaving them into the palette, and I do speed this process up. And now you can see I have 5 colors there that I'm going to use in this with these cotton balls and Q-tips. So first off, I break up the cotton balls because they are too big for the space that I am working in, and I can use a cotton ball for at least 3 or 4 colors, which is nice. It uses less stuff. I'm using the yellow around the pony because I feel like the other colors would make him blend too much into the background. So I want to get that light color up there at the top of him. And really, I don't have a lot of rhyme or reason for what colors I pick for where, except to make sure that I don't put too many colors that are very similar next to other objects that are also the same. I just do a circular motion. I add the pastel onto the cotton ball and I rub it onto the page in a circular motion, and I rub into the area that I've already colored so that the colors blend together a little more seamlessly. And then I just move on to the next color on my palette that I want to use, and I start off by rubbing circularly and into the area where I had colored previously, and then further down onto the page. Now, you can do this any way you want, but I tend to try and stay a little bit away, like to create a halo around the image if I've already colored the image. Ideally, you would not color the image first, but in an ideal world, that's not a place that I actually live. I have a tendency to not think of something I want to do until after the fact, especially when it comes to a background. So you just have to make do. And that's what I'm showing you here. You can get a little bit of the chalk off of your drawing if you move on to it. But what I've also found is that if I don't point out things that overlap or a mistake in my coloring, then nobody notices it. It's just something that I see, and you won't see it unless I point out how I messed up. And later on, I will point out some mistakes that I made, because just maybe it'll be something you can learn from or use in your own coloring to not mess up. Here I'm using some white to go over that area because I felt like the purple was too similar to the back legs of that pony. So I just wanted to like lighten it up a little bit. There are colors of chalk that were lighter in the set, but there's no point in going back and getting more when I have the white there ready to go if I want to make things a little bit lighter. So I just keep getting this and adding it on. And the color palette I chose was to match that pony up top because it's very reminiscent of 1980s My Little Pony. So I just wanted that like soft pastel rainbow background that I come to remember from that series and basically childhood. So everything's like just soft and dreamy and reminds me of My Little Pony. So does the cupcake. So yeah, I just keep adding it on, and like this part is, well, it can be tedious if you're like me and very unsure about what color you want to do next or how you want to blend from one to the other. Um, just the process for me is a little bit ridiculous. So I have sped this up for you like 2 times, I think, and I'm going to go ahead and finish up one side, and when you see the next bit, it will just be, the whole thing's been colored in with the chalk pastel just to save you the time of watching all the tedium of me coloring that in. So yeah, after that we go and we do the erasing. I was not able to use my electric eraser, but an electric eraser is certainly an option. It was just like 2 in the morning when I filmed this, and I didn't want to wake up everybody in my house. So I'm showing you the erasers that I've used, and I'm also have a makeup brush that I use to brush off the dust. But I used in my hand right now, the blue one is just a random polymer eraser stick. You can get these at any store. I will try to link one below on Amazon just in case you can't find one. But they're very handy if you can't use your electric eraser. So they work very well. You see me cleaning up the edges on this circle, and you won't see me do that again because the less clean they are, the more it looks fuzzy, which is what that background's supposed to look like. And I'm alternating and using the larger eraser to do larger areas to make larger circles. And then I go in with the Tombow Mono Zero polymer eraser, or this is an elastomer eraser. I don't know the difference, but this one has a very, very fine point. And I go in with this one to make my smaller circles just so that I don't because I'm doing it freehand. You could use a stencil. I'm just not going to do that. So I have to be honest with myself and know that I'm just going to try and make these circles by hand. So the smaller eraser keeps me from making very big circles if I go and make the circle a little bit wonky, so I have to go further out to make the circle look better. It just works better with a smaller eraser for me. And like I said, the electric eraser would have been a million times quicker had I been able to use it, but as it stands, I was not. And if you can see, there is painter's tape on all the edges of my page because I don't like to go up to the ends of the page if I can help it. It just winds up getting chalk dust everywhere, and not a huge fan finding it later. You can easily erase it from other pages. It's not a big deal. I just don't want to. So yeah, you can see me trying to figure out where exactly I want the next circle. The point is, though, that you do want to make sure that some circles are like halfway behind things so that they're just not free floating circles. Like you can see, like I've put a circle up against the edge of the pony, or I put circles up against the edge of the tape. So you'll wind up with like a half circle instead. And I just keep erasing the dust as I go so that it's not going to spread. It it's hard to tell, but my hand is not touching the paper. It's like raised up so that I'm not dragging the chalk, because if you drag it, it will turn the colors muddy. But yeah, you just keep erasing. You can see up against the Pegasus wing, there's a circle that's, half behind him. It's hidden or occluded. It's the same thing all around the cupcake. I just want to make sure that enough of them are behind it so that the background itself, if you took the cupcake and the pony off, there would be circles everywhere. So I want that to look like the background is cohesive all through the entire page. There's another one I just did where it's like halfway behind the cupcake, and I think that just makes it look like it belongs there, as opposed to you thought of doing the background as an afterthought, which is exactly what I did. So yeah, I'm just trying to make it look a little more like it belongs. And we're just finishing up all the circles. And like I said, this is a super simple background. I think it adds a lot of visual effect where, leaving it white would not have been as interesting. It's definitely more visual and more appealing to my eye. So I'm glad I did it. And it's kind of like a hack for when I don't feel like doing a background. It's just an easy way to get something done. I will say that you do have to finish this with some sort of fixative. I use a krylon fixative for mine. It keeps the chalk from coming off the page after the fact. And here you'll just see me doing my favorite thing, which is just taking the tape off the edges so that we have those nice, clean, crisp edges on the page. And here's where you'll see my oh, not yet, but it's coming. I have my little mistake, which is not a big deal and easily fixable, is that when I do the tape across the top, it takes off the gold jelly roll from his horn and leaves it onto the tape, and you'll be able to see it on the tape right here. And I'm pointing it out to Jackie. That's what I was talking through this whole video to her. That's why I'm doing the voiceover, so that it's not so individualized. But I just went back with the jelly roll and fixed that right up, and it was fine. So yeah, after the tape came off, I sprayed it with fixative, and the page was done. I hope that you had fun watching the video and that maybe there was something in there that could be learned or at least enjoyed. And until next time, my friends, have yourselves a very colorful day. Bye.